Hey there and welcome back to Mass Effect 3. My name is Pete and today we complete the next stage in the game's main storyline. Yes, it is finally time to return to Tuchanka and attempt to cure the Genophage. In the last episode, we have already taken care of all the side missions that we can complete up until this point, so for the moment we have nothing more to do here on the Citadel and can plot a course for the Krogan DMZ. And as you can see, every other mission that was once available on Tuchanka has been completed as well, so the Shroud facility is our next and only target.
All hands, full stop! Hostiles detected at the landing coordinates!
Joker, what have you got?
Sensors show a Reaper parked at the Shroud facility. No way you're gonna be able to land a shuttle there.
Get everyone assembled in the war room. I want eyes on the Shroud.
Aye, aye, sir.
New form of Reaper, Shepard, using Shroud to poison Tuchanka's atmosphere. Problematic.
They want to fight! They just got one.
Primarch, we're gonna need your help.
That could be difficult. Our losses on Palaven have been catastrophic.
First morality choice of the episode, and yes indeed, we are doing all of this to secure help for Palaven, which the Paragon option here also allows us to point out.
We're doing this for Palaven. No one said it would be easy.
What do you have in mind?
A combined attack. Your people hit the Reaper with an airstrike. Wrex, at the same time, your soldiers will be attacking from the ground. Together, you can draw it away from the tower.
Yes, distraction. Small team can reach Shroud facility, finish synthesizing cure. We'll need Eve to come with us.
2 more Paragon points can then be obtained by asking if everyone is on board with the plan, although, considering the circumstances, that shouldn't really be much of a question.
We've never faced a Reaper up close like this. Everyone on board?
There's even a doubt? Let's move, Pyjack. It's time to cure the Genophage.
Commander, incoming message marked urgent. I'll put it in the comm room for you.
Dalatrass?
Commander Shepard, we know you've reached Tuchanka. And by now, I imagine Mordin Solus has proposed using the Shroud.
Are you spying on us?
Hardly. The Shroud is the only viable course of action open to you. Commander, you can't allow the diplomatic pressures of this war to cloud your judgment. Do you honestly believe curing the Genophage will end in lasting peace?
Alright, and of course, things have to get a bit more complicated with this not entirely unsurprising proposition, but for now we will stick to the Paragon path and show faith in our plan.
We have to give the Krogan that chance. You can't condemn an entire race to extinction based on what might happen.
What will happen is the Krogan will reproduce out of control. We uplifted them specifically for their violent nature, not their diplomatic skills. Another war is inevitable.
What do you want, Dalatrass?
Years ago, our operatives sabotaged the Shroud facility to ensure what you were planning couldn't be done. Mordin will likely detect this malfunction and repair it. But if you ensure that he doesn't, then the cure's viability will be altered just enough so that it fails. No one will notice the change.
You mean trick the Krogan?
They need not be any the wiser. Let Urdnot Wrex believe you fulfilled your promise.
Mordin would never stand for that.
How you deal with him is up to you, Commander. We can provide you our very best scientists to build the Crucible, and the full support of our fleets.
If I sabotage the cure.
Think about it, Commander. The choice is yours.
Right, now for this one we want to take Liara and, nope, not Garrus, but Javik, as we are about to face a Reaper and Javik has a bit of a personal vendetta. Weapons-wise, we will stick with our loadout, as Shepard carries the Tyrian face-down assault rifle into the mission, Javik brings the Prothean particle rifle, and Liara can choose from the Bloodpack SMG or the Scorpion heavy pistol. With Shepard, we also have 10 points to spend on powers, but to be honest, we are already pretty close to the final build with him. Nonetheless, we will spend 5 points on the next rank of Disruptor ammo, increasing the ability's headshot damage. With Liara's 5 points, we can grab the next rank of warp ammo, as the damage bonus against armor is particularly useful against Reaper units. Finally then, we have 14 points with Javik, and we are going to use 9 of those for the next 2 ranks of Pull, increasing the ability's radius and also the damage that all lifted targets take. And that's it. Let's see what awaits us on Tuchanka.
I've ordered the clans to assemble at the Hollows. It's our sacred meeting ground. We'll land there and take an armored convoy against the Reaper. This will be the defining moment of Krogan history.
Krogan history filled with defining moments, most bloody. Hope this one better.
Commander, you seem troubled.
Alright, I would call this one of the true morality choices in the game, so let us stay true to our Paragon ways, although this decision is perhaps not as impactful as one might think.
I got a message from the...
Wrex, it's Reeve. The Reapers are already at the Hollows. Come out with guns blazing.
Hang on tight. We're heading in.
Shepard, keep them away from the female. I'll sort out what's happening with the other clans.
Everyone pick your targets and keep an eye on our 6. Now move!
The enemy is approaching.
Push forward. Don't let him get up here.
Shepard, it's ugly over here. Whatever you do, keep them away from the female.
First small fight of the mission, but at the moment just a few husks, so nothing too challenging.
This is as bad as Palaven!
There are more approaching.
The presence of husks is also one of the reasons why Liara is with us today, as her singularity ability significantly reduces the chances of getting swarmed.
We're almost in the clear!
They'll sing battle songs about this someday. Reaper blood has finally soaked our soil.
We have to get to the Shroud. The airstrike is on its way.
Female safe, Shepard. Vitals are strong.
What's a Salarian doing here? Nobody said anything about this.
Multiple Krogan. Problematic.
Who are you?
Erdnot Reeve, brood brother to our illustrious leader. Reeve and I share the same mother, and nothing else. For which I'm thankful. I remember what it means to be a true Krogan. We flay our enemies alive and drown them in a geyser of their own blood. We don't invite them into our home.
And with this first small skirmish behind us, we can now continue to collect Paragon points by pointing out that Mordin is indeed with the good guys.
The Salarian is not your enemy. He's here to help cure the Genophage.
His kind gave us the Genophage. Why should we trust him? Because I do. And so will you.
Enough!
You can stay here and let old wounds fester as Krogan have always done. Or you can fight the enemy you were born to destroy and win a new future for our children. I choose to fight. Who will join me?
And after a few moments of awkward silence, we can now pledge our allegiance to Eve, earning 2 more Paragon points in the process.
I will.
And so will I. Now hold your heads high like true Krogan. There's a Reaper that needs killing!
Salarian Wing Artemech. Our flight vector to the Shroud is locked. We're 10 minutes out and counting.
Copy that, Artemech. We're on our way, trying to make up lost time. Shepard out.
Reed isn't the only Krogan who wants revenge for the Genophage, Wrex. You'll have to placate them somehow.
I'll demand the Council return some of our old territory. We'll need room to expand. Recapture the glory of the Ancients.
Glory of Ancients led to Krogan rebellions, countless deaths, creation of Genophage. Expansion plan, problematic.
What were the ancient Krogan like?
Tuchanka wasn't always a wasteland. In the old times, the Krogan were a proud people. We had dreams, a future to look forward to.
Until Salarian interference.
No, we destroyed Tuchanka ourselves. Technology changed us. It made life too easy. So we looked for new challenges, and found them in each other. Nuclear war was inevitable.
And now our planet is rubble. We'll need a better place to live.
Now, to be honest, both options here probably have some truth in them, but considering the fact that we are surrounded by Krogan and that their leader is a good friend, let us once again go with the Paragon choice.
I'd say helping defeat the Reapers would be worth a new planet.
Or 10. You haven't seen how fast we can pop them out.
Wrex.
What? With the Genophage cured, we'll have a lot of catching up to do.
Commander, on the shuttle, was there something you were going to say?
We also have the option to once again reveal the Dalatrass's plan, and just like before, we will attempt to come clean. I would assume that Shepard has made up his mind on the matter at this point, and this choice also earns us a whopping 15 Paragon points.
The Dalatrass tried to cut a secret deal with me.
What kind of deal?
She said they sabotaged the Shroud years ago. The cure won't work unless we fix it.
Years ago, our operatives sabotaged the Shroud facility to ensure what you're planning couldn't be done.
And she thought we wouldn't know better?
Correctly. Would likely have fooled tests, but familiar with STG work, can adjust. Did not come this far for nothing.
You just spared our race another genocide, Commander.
I told you we could count on him. Why are we stopping?
Wrex, you and Mordin stay with Eve. It's looking ugly out here.
Will do.
Alright, we have a few moments here to investigate our surroundings, which include a few medkits and several valuable upgrades, as well as a few Krogan to talk to.
This combustion manifold isn't going to last long. Let's get moving.
We can also acquire a new weapon, although its owner does not seem to be too keen on letting us take it.
That's mine. Whatever you shoot with it belongs to me.
The Graal Spike Thrower is in good Krogan fashion a shotgun, and it can be a bit tricky to use, but it is very powerful if used right.
And remember to bring it back when you're done, human.
Look at that Reaper. It's like the end of days out there.
It will be my first kill, but not the last.
And now, let's find out what the holdup actually is.
What's the holdup?
Road's out. The convoy can't make it through.
Turian Wing Artemech, this is Shepard. We've been delayed. Hold off your attack.
Negative, Commander. Our approach is locked. The Reaper already knows we're here.
An airstrike isn't enough against the Reaper. We must join the fight.
Damn it. I don't care if we have to build a new road. We're going.
Shepard!
I've lost control. I can't pull up. Move!
Shepard, what's happening?
Wrex, get the female out of here now! Go! Artemech, do you copy?
We have to abort, Commander. That Reaper's tearing us to pieces.
Understood. Save your pilots. We'll find another way.
There's a tunnel over there. Could be a way off.
Get to it!
Okay, so it looks like the mission has just become a bit more complicated, as we'll be proceeding on foot from here.
Wrex, are you receiving this? Is everyone okay?
Yeah, just scratches. Nothing the Salarian can't patch up. Reeves' truck made it out too.
The Turians had to call off the airstrike. We'll need a new plan for dealing with the Reaper.
First we'll have to find you. Where did you end up?
Underground. We see ruins of some kind.
Commander, that's the City of the Ancients.
How do we get out?
No maps exist. It's been abandoned for thousands of years.
You're a trailblazer, Shepard. Get through there and we'll find a place to meet up. Nothing will stop this cure.
What was that?
A tremor.
Right, now following along with the layout of this place is a bit tricky. For now though, both exits from the first room lead into this one, which itself has 2 exits of its own, and we want to go left first.
Fascinating. This painting suggests Krogan had an artistic side.
Notice they chose obedience as their subject.
And yes, in terms of squad mate banter, Liara and Javik definitely make a great team for this mission.
That didn't feel like a quake.
Wrex, are you guys feeling these tremors?
Not up here.
It could be something else, Commander. It is said that Kalros, the mother of all Thresher Maws, lives in this region.
Which is another reason to get your ass out of there, Shepard. Step on it.
Kalros, the mother of all Thresher Maws. Sounds troubling.
If the Krogan named it, it must be something special.
Kalros, I would guess. Impressive.
If that's what we've been hearing down here, I suggest we get moving.
Alright, let's do that, and from here on out the rest of the way is fairly linear, as there is only one way out of this room. Along that way we can then also find a third and final wall painting, each of them worth over 8,000 credits. Our exit is also right up ahead, although there is something curious in the way.
Rachni.
There are bound to be more than just the ones we killed. Wrex, we've got Rachni here. Keep an eye out.
I know. A few of them just attacked us. All that matters is getting to that shroud. Find us fast.
Alright, looks like we want to keep our eyes open. For now at least, we have made it out.
Finally, light ahead. In my younger days, I would have loved to have spent time here studying these ruins.
Remnants of a failed species.
Wrex, we made it back outside.
Well, if you can see sunlight, that's progress.
And the color green. I thought plants were extinct around here.
You're looking at hope, all that's left of it on Tuchanka. This is once a world full of beauty. Given a chance, it can be again.
Shepard, that Reaper is still up to no good at the Shroud. Find a way out of there and we'll pick you up.
We're on it.
And when we get there, vengeance will be mine.
Movement ahead.
More opportunity for escape.
And here we go. To no one's surprise, we are attacked by Reaper units. Right from the start, we have 2 Ravagers against us that can do a whole lot of damage with their cannon fire, so we want to play it safe here and stay in cover until they are down. Luckily for us, the rest of the Reaper forces currently has no clear line of fire and is also a good distance away, so we can focus on the Ravagers first. Once they are down, it should be safe to move up, as the rest of our enemies are only cannibals, and perhaps the occasional swarmer that dropped from one of the Ravagers' axe. All in all, once the 2 main enemies are down, this fight here won't be overly difficult.
Another quake!
Kalros is more than a myth!
Stay sharp!
And despite Kalros' presence, we might have more pressing matters to attend to.
It isn't over yet!
This time it once again pays off to stay back, as the cannibals here can't really do much to hurt us over this distance. They are also neatly packed into 2 small groups, so far nothing too challenging.
As you wish.
Watch out! One of the big ones!
And he is the Lord!
Keeping our distance also helps tremendously in taking out the brute here. Having to cover this much ground as a melee unit is definitely not a recipe for success. And I'm not quite sure if this is a bug or if 2 brutes are intended to spawn here.
I think that's it for now.
In any case, the repeating of the same voice line surely is not intended.
Wrex, you're right about Kalros. She's on the move.
Yeah, we've got some ideas on that. What?
Not now, Wrex. The commander has enough to worry about.
What's happening?
Some crazy idea we can talk about later. Just worry about getting out of there right
Take a
now.
breath, because here they come!
Alright, into the next fight we go, and again it helps to not be overly aggressive in this one, as more enemies are already waiting for us.
Shepard, looks like we got a bridge up ahead. Try to find it, and we'll pick you up there.
We're a little preoccupied right now.
I didn't say it would be easy.
Now that bridge that Wrex just mentioned is in fact right ahead of us, slightly to the right. Before we can get there though, we have to defeat a few Husks. That in itself is obviously not too difficult, but we still want to be careful, because we also have 2 more Ravagers waiting on the bridge with a nice overview of the central courtyard here.
I didn't think Tuchanka could get any worse.
Here you can now see them, and from this position we have a great shot at them, but engaging them too early can be a recipe for disaster, as their artillery fire locks you down while the Husks come swarming in from every direction. So I have found it much easier to play this section nice and slowly, take out the Cannibals first, then trigger the Husks, clear them out and leave the Ravagers for last. And as you can see, that works nicely, as we finish the fight still at full health and can now make our way over to the bridge.
Shepard, we're coming under the bridge. Get down here and we can get to the Shroud. Kalros!
Wrex!
Break off! We're getting out of here!
Territorial instinct confirmed!
She's not gonna get us.
Okay, so it seems like we should slowly shift our attention from the Reapers to the Thresher Maw. In any case, for the moment we have to proceed on foot for a little while longer, as the convoy attempts to shake Kalros off.
Go on ahead, Shepard. We'll try to shake this thing and find you.
Thresher Maw getting closer!
Tell me something I don't know.
Metal in truck, an excellent iron supplement for Maw's diet.
This planet is one giant death trap.
The Reapers must feel at home.
I wonder where we are now.
A memorial of some kind.
A memorial with a great view of a not-so-great place.
These Krogan seem to have only one talent: destruction. Even of their own home. The Genophage was a necessity.
Ahead of us!
I have them in sight.
And there we go, another fight awaits, but for the most part we are dealing with the same old forces, minus the Ravagers. And Cannibals and Husks have not been an issue since basically the first episode of this series, so we should have this one under control.
Shepard, Wrex busy driving truck. Are you still alive?
Doing what we can. What about you?
Alarmed yet entertained. Kalros is quite resistant.
Breathe. Stay close. Drive faster. I can smell the damn thing's breath.
Now this is actually the only fight in the entire mission that features Marauders, and their very limited presence is also the reason why we did not bring a dedicated tech specialist with Overload along. After all, there are only 2 of them, and even though we don't really have any abilities against shields in our squad, we should still be fine as long as we don't expose anyone too much. Speaking of squad members, by the way, Garrus is a good candidate for this mission if you want to replace Javik, as he does of course have some history with Wrex, but I simply don't want to take him with us on every mission. With that being said, after the fight we want to make sure to pick up 2 objects of interest, first an SMG scope and then an assault rifle upgrade a little later.
Shepard, we've almost lost Kalros. Get down from there and we'll find you.
And with that, it looks like we can now finally rejoin the convoy.
Shepard, get over here. Reeve, keep an eye out for that Maw. I don't want it sneaking up on us.
Make it quick, Wrex.
We're exposed.
Move it!
It's Kalros!
Move, Shepard!
We're in. Go!
What about Reeve?
No way he survived that. And he was a pain in the ass anyway. Now let's finish this. There's a Reaper waiting for us.
We don't have a plan for this.
Vengeance is the goal. Suicide is not.
We're curing the Genophage no matter what it takes. Everything my people will ever be depends on it.
Then I hope this idea you were talking about is a good one.
It was hers, actually.
Kalros. We summon her to the Reaper.
Would that even work?
Already discussed strategy. Just need to distract Reaper. Draw it from tower while Cure synthesized, released.
What makes you so sure she'll come?
Legends say she is the mother from which all other Thresher Maws spawn. This is as much her home as ours.
If Tuchanka has a temper, Kalros is it. Nobody's ever faced her and survived.
Now, this is one of those rare moments where we are actually going with the Renegade choice, simply because I think the moment to talk about risks has long passed, and because we have indeed done crazier things in the past.
We flew through the Omega-4 relay and survived. We can do this.
That's the spirit, Shepard.
How would we summon her?
The tower was built in an arena devoted to Kalros' glory. The Salarians thought she would scare away intruders.
Appears to have worked.
There are 2 Maw Hammers there, the largest in existence. If you can activate them, Kalros will come. That should distract the Reaper.
Meanwhile, laboratory nearby. We'll finish synthesizing Cure.
On the other hand, telling a good friend of ours and the hope of the Krogan people to be safe is a sensible thing to do in my opinion, so let's grab 2 Paragon points here.
Let's make sure we all get out of here alive. We're gonna have one hell of a story to tell.
Wait! I want you to know that no matter what happens, you've been a champion to the Krogan people, a friend of Clan Erdnot, and a brother to me. To every Krogan born after this day, the name Shepard will mean hero! Now, let's show them why. Go! I've got this! I am Erdnot Wrex, and this is my planet!
See you on the other side.
Stay alive, Shepard. We'll have Cure ready.
Let's get in there!
And after 5 more Paragon points from the interrupt earlier, we are now dropped right into the next fight, which itself is once again not too difficult, but can be a bit sudden.
I took care of those Rachni, but someone has to raise those Maw Hammers before you can use them.
We're kinda busy, Wrex.
Lucky for you, I'm here. I'll handle it.
And with that, I think it's clear what our next goal is. Before we get there though, let's pick up the M5 Phalanx, a heavy pistol that we already know from Mass Effect 2, and in this game a formidable sidearm due to its low weight and solid, albeit not fantastic, damage output.
Shepard, some luck. Original strain in storage. Preparing the Cure now.
Make it quick, Mordin. They're all over us out here.
At last, the Reaper!
Everyone all right?
I think so. Did we just get shot by a Reaper?
Consider that practice.
And indeed, we are about to get shot at quite a few more times during this next section here.
Okay, Shepard, I raised the hammers. You have to activate both of them. My advice is avoid the giant laser.
Are we sure about this?
I remember this spot!
Just keep moving. Stick to cover.
I can't believe we're actually doing this.
This is the easy part!
Don't stop!
Commander, this is Artemic Wing. We'll try to give that Reaper something else to shoot at.
Goddess be with them.
Go! Let's push ahead!
And there we go, with the Reaper distracted, we might in fact have a chance to raise those hammers, although it remains to be seen whether that plan actually works.
Over on our left, one of the hammers.
The second is on the right!
Getting to them is another matter entirely.
And yes, Liara could not be more correct. Between us and the activation of both hammers now stands a never-ending wave of brutes, with the first one dropping in right in front of us.
This is insane.
However, because the brutes won't stop coming until we activate both hammers, the easiest thing to do is to simply ignore them entirely, which is admittedly easier said than done.
Mort, we hit the first hammer. How's it coming?
Almost have Cure.
line's dropping. Trying to compensate.
The second hammer's on the other side.
And despite the brutes not really being a threat at the moment, the Reaper is of course still very much stomping around.
Shepard, get that second hammer going!
There's a Reaper in my way, Wrex!
I know, you get all the fun.
With a bit of luck though, we are able to cut this fight short.
Go! Get back to the truck! I'll take care of the cure! Mordin, is the cure ready?
Yes, loaded for dispersal in 2 minutes. Procedure traumatic for Eve, but not lethal. Malin's research invaluable.
She's okay?
Headed to safety now. Her survival fortunate. Will stabilize new government should Wrex get any ideas. Good match. Promising future for Krogan.
Down!
Control room at top of Shroud Tower. Must take elevator up.
You're going up there?
Yes, manual access required. Have to counteract STG sabotage. Ensure cure disperse properly.
Mordin, this whole thing is coming apart. There's gotta be another way.
Remote bypass impossible. STG countermeasures in place. No time to adjust cure for temperature variance. No other option. Not coming back. Suggest you get clear. Explosion's likely to be problematic.
Mordin, no!
Shepard, please. Need to do this. My project, my work, my cure. My responsibility. Would have liked to run tests on the seashells.
2 final Paragon points are now rewarded, but only because we used the Paragon interrupt earlier, and it does in fact look as if this might be a goodbye.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. Had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong.
Warning, temperature malfunction detected. Warning, temperature malfunction detected.
I studied species Turian, Asarian, Batarian.
Temperature now within acceptable range. Dispersal commencing.
My xenoscience studies range from urban to agrarian. I am the very model of...
A long time ago, my father betrayed me in this place. His own son. He tried to kill me, so I had to kill him. Right over there. That's what the Genophage reduced us to. Animals. But you changed that today, Shepard.
Now we'll fight for our children, not against them. It's just a pity Mordin had to die.
And now, I think this is one of the easiest Paragon choices in the entire game right here, but even then, Mordin was probably much more than just a good friend.
He wouldn't have had it any other way. And I'm sure wherever he is, he's putting in a good word for us.
We'll name one of the kids after him. Maybe a girl.
But you, Commander, we can thank you in person.
Tell the Turians I'll be deploying troops to Palaven immediately. And when you're ready to kick the Reapers off Earth, you let me know. The Krogan are back in business.
Goodbye, Commander.
What will you do now?
Spread the hope you've given us. Even now, there are clans gathering in the Kelphic Valley. I'll go speak to them and make sure this gift isn't squandered. Thank you for all that you've done. And know that Erdnot Bakara calls you a friend.
Hell of a thing you just pulled off, Commander. Curing the Genophage? I never thought I'd see the day.
Wrex has agreed to help the Turians, Admiral. We should get their full support.
I take it that leaves the Salarians out of the equation.
The cost of their support was too high, sir.
Well, I'll defer to your judgment on that, Commander. Let's hope we don't need them. Hackett, out.
Commander, Erdnot Wrex has begun sending troops to Palaven. You kept your end of the bargain, and now I'll keep mine. The Turian hierarchy will stand with humanity against the Reapers.
Now, at this point in the mission, we no longer get any morality points, so we can choose whatever dialogue option we want, but still, it might be in our interest to show our more cooperative side.
I'm glad we can help each other out. It's the only way we're going to defeat the Reapers.
That much is certain. To that end, several dry dock ships are ready to help build the Crucible. Garrus will coordinate them.
Yes, sir.
And when the time comes to deploy it, the full measure of our fleet will be there for Earth. May the spirits watch over us all.
I'll start managing Turian support right away, Shepard. You must be exhausted. Mordin dying, it can't be easy.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
We both know you need a clear head to win a war. There's no room for mistakes here. You should catch some shut-eye. I'll make sure Joker doesn't launch any suicide missions.
Anything happens, you let me know.
And we are back in another dream sequence. Let's see how this one plays out.
Screw that. I can hold them off. Go back and get Alenka. You know it's the right choice, MD.
Someone else might have gotten it wrong. Shepard. Shepard.
Screw that. I can hold them off. Go back and get Alenka. You know it's the right choice, MD.
It's open.
Shepard, there's something you need to hear.
All right.
Is this a bad time?
Once again, no morality points here, but I think with Liara there is no need to get straight to business, so let's share some of what we just experienced with her.
Thinking of some friends who aren't around thanks to this war.
That's thanks to the Reapers, not you. Are you thinking about anyone in particular?
And yes, a few voice lines from Ashley did pop up during the dream, so we might as well mention her.
Ashley, back on Vermeer. She gave her life stopping Sovereign. I wonder what she'd make of fighting a whole fleet of Reapers.
If I had to guess, Ashley would call it target practice.
Yeah. Sounds like her. Didn't you have something for me?
The Salarian Counselor has an urgent matter.
Let me guess. He called the comm room?
The Council must be taking the Crucible seriously. I'll see you downstairs.
Commander, there is something we should discuss, if you are finished rewriting history.
I made my decision, Counselor. There's not much anyone can do about it now.
Yes. We're going to have billions more Krogan in the galaxy. It's a good thing you saved my life once, Shepard. Otherwise, well... I have concerns about humanity's representative, Councillor Udina. My agents have discovered that he's using his authority to move vast sums of money. For what purpose? We're not sure.
Alright, looks like we are moving straight to the next potentially problematic situation, and no, I think CSEC has enough on their plate for the time being, so let's handle this ourselves.
If Adina's dirty, it's best we get to the bottom of it fast.
Agreed. Come to the Citadel. We will review the evidence and discuss this in private. Valorn out.
Commander, Admiral Hackett's available on VidCom.
Okay, so that was priority to Tuchanka, and indeed the next part of the main story takes us back to the Citadel. For the moment though, Admiral Hackett is waiting to chat, so let's not keep him waiting.
Commander Shepard, something you need to talk about?
We can ask a few questions about the overall galactic situation here, and this will be a good status report now that we have completed what is generally referred to as the first act of the game.
Do you know how the other races are doing against the Reapers?
Believe it or not, the Turians and Krogan actually seem to be getting along. Wrex has deployed troops, and they're giving the Reapers a moment of pause. The Salarians are still hanging on to Sirkesh, but the Reapers are starting to breathe down their necks too.
What about the Asari?
They have to be feeling the heat. The Reapers are moving fast with the obvious intent of taking Thessia. Interestingly, the Reapers are leaving Parnak alone. It's the Yogg homeworld.
Can't say that I blame them. Yogg have teeth.
Well, if we lose this war, it might be them running the next cycle. It's easy to forget the Reapers don't destroy every species.
Just the ones who can threaten them. Any word on the Volus and Elcor?
The Turians and the Krogan sent forces to the Volus homeworld, Irun. It might not be enough, but at least they've got Reaper forces bogged down in a nasty ground war. As for Elcor, they're still in the fight, though our projections show the Reapers encroaching on their territory soon.
What happened to the Batarians?
Never stood a chance, hit by the Reapers straight out of the gate. And without any allies to call on, I think the Batarians are history.
Have we heard anything from the Quarians or Geth?
Something might be brewing near the Geth border, but our intel is sketchy. News is getting harder to come by as things get worse.
What's our state of readiness, Admiral?
I won't lie, Shepard. We're bogged down. Things aren't looking good in most sectors. We need to increase the tempo and chalk up some wins, otherwise this won't end well for the human race. Or any race.
What about the extra help we've picked up along the way?
The Krogan and Turians have obviously been a big help. Wrex running the show is a bonus for us. And that female Krogan you rescued is rallying more support from the other clans. I'm glad you disabled that mom on Tuchanka. We could have lost a lot of Krogan support. As it is, we picked up some Turian troops.
Good to hear. How about the Salarians?
Interesting wrinkle. We've been getting back channel commitments from the strike teams within STG. They're promising to back us.
Even after I cured the Genophage?
Our intel suggests there are cracks developing between the military and the politicians. These STG guys know the score. They're not going to jeopardize the entire Salarian Union just because some Dalatrass didn't get her way.
What about the Rachni?
I wouldn't have believed it, but the Rachni are helping us build the Crucible.
You're kidding.
Turns out they have a knack for weapons of mass destruction. In hindsight, I guess they'd know a thing or two about waging a galactic war.
No problems with them then?
Other than scaring the hell out of our engineers, no. Not a lot of small talk going on there.
What about Aria's mercenaries?
Aria T'Loak, there's someone I never thought we'd be in bed with. The blood pack will be useful, and violent. Mostly Vorcha, I hear. We'll put the Blue Suns to good use. Intel says Narner Vosk is bringing his men, and that they're gunning for a fight. The Eclipse are providing troops and mechs. When we find a Reaper soft spot, they'll help us hit it. Don't want to know how you got Aria's cooperation, but whatever you did, it was worth it.
And that concludes Hackett's brief overview of the current ongoings, so let's not take up any more of his time.
Nothing more, sir.
Keep me posted. Hackett out.
Alright, so considering an overall dire situation, we seem to be doing fairly well for ourselves, which is also shown in more detail as we take a closer look at our current war assets. As always, I will not dive into each and every one of them here, but feel free to pause if you want to read through their descriptions. Most of the new assets that we have gained are of course Krogan in nature, in total providing over 400 points. Had we sided with the Salarian Dalatrass, by the way, the total number of assets would have been much lower, so from that perspective, the Paragon approach is definitely the better of the two options. As you can see, we are in fact close to the minimum threshold for our total military strength, and we have not even made it halfway through the game yet. So things are looking good, all things considered, but of course there is much more to do still, including another brief tour through the ship.
See the vids of the Maw taking down the Reaper? Man, I wish I could have been there.
I'm just glad the diplomats are off the ship. A Krogan and a Turian in the same room is a fight waiting to happen.
Commander, Admiral Hackett has requested your help with a Cerberus fighter base on Novaria. The Turians have given us top-level access to their combat data. Their ships are already moving in to help the Alliance fleet. You actually secured a Krogan-Turian alliance. It's one thing to hear about Commander Shepard. It's another to see him in action.
Trainer is also kind enough to immediately dump the next side mission on us, although this one could be interesting as it will take us back to Novaria.
Alright, my turn. What's the first order an Alliance commander gives at the start of combat?
I give up.
Correct.
Alright, big guy. What do you call it when a Turian gets killed by a horrible spiky monster?
Friendly fire. Come on, that one goes back to Shang-Chi.
You gotta respect the classics.
How many humans does it take to activate a dormant mass relay?
602. 600 to vote on it, 1 to ask the Asari for technical help, and 1 to request a seat on the council afterward. How do you know when a Turian's out of ammo?
He switches to the stick up his ass as a backup weapon. Why does the Alliance hire pilots with brittle bone disease?
You're shitting me! The Turian military has one about me?
Oh, absolutely. I heard it myself from a private back on Palaven.
Alright, why does the Alliance hire pilots with brittle bone disease?
So their Marines can beat someone in hand-to-hand drills.
Damn, you need to tell James that one. Hey, what's the hardest part about treating a Turian who took a rocket to one side of his face?
Figuring out which side took the rocket.
And after a bit of comedic relief, let's get back to the serious matters.
Never thought I'd see the Krogan and the Turians team up. Even the Reapers have to be a little nervous about pissing them off.
I'd say more than a little.
I'm sorry about Mordin.
Again, no morality points here, but these are very much the prototypical Paragon Renegade answers, so it's clear which of the two options we are going to pick.
He was a good man.
Yeah, he was always running those tests. And one time he tagged me in the middle of the night to ask how many livers humans had. And this bump on my elbow? He said it was just a mild bone deformation, but I'm pretty sure he stuck a probe in there.
Glad it was just your elbow.
I always thought he was crazy. Useful, but crazy. Then he gives up his own life.
To save the Krogan. Doesn't do much to disprove the crazy theory, huh?
I guess not. But he was one of ours.
So now that we got the Krogan and the Turians, what now?
The Krogan help us turn the tide on Palaven. They can shoot at something useful for a change.
Dig till we hit daylight, huh? Works for me.
So how does it feel knowing Krogan will be singing songs about you until the end of time? I'd think it would be an honor.
And we will go with the option at the top here as well, although both answers are probably true. But yes, being a hero does feel good at times.
There's enough misery in this universe. It's nice to see something go right for a change.
Can't say I've ever really witnessed history in the making like this. Well, except for Sovereign attacking the Citadel, and then there was the Collector base, but this one felt good. And let's hope Wrex keeps running the show on Tuchanka. Maybe we should hire a food taster for him. Imagine the carnage if some young, hot-headed Krogan took over.
It could happen.
I know, it's a chance we have to take, but I have to say, if it wasn't my own world that needed the help, I might have taken that Salarian deal.
And the way we have played it, I think we can say with confidence that it never crossed our mind, although if it did, then Garrus would likely be among the only ones we could trust with that info.
I could never bring myself to do that, no matter what I was offered.
I admire your restraint, Shepard. It's nice when we can save the galaxy without destroying another race along the way.
Let's hope our luck holds.
I wonder where all the Krogan will live now. I've never seen what you'd call a house on Tuchanka.
Commander?
Now, at this point, we can take note of the fact that Edie's place on the bridge is currently empty, so we will likely meet her elsewhere as our brief tour continues for just a few more moments.
Commander, Chief Engineer Adams would like to speak with you down in engineering.
And with that, we have at least one more destination here on board, although as always, we are doing things in order, and that means the crew deck is next, more specifically Liara's office.
Any sign of life?
The Reaper destroyed by the Thresher Maw appears to be completely inert, Doctor. We would need to send in teams to be sure.
Out of the question. Tell the Krogan to stay away. The Genophage cured. The Krogan have no reason to hold back now, do they? Wrex knows what he's doing, but can he keep the Krogan in check? Or will this be the start of another Krogan empire? Eve's organizing the female Krogan. She reminds me of some of the more formidable matriarchs I've known. The Krogan won't let themselves fall by the wayside again. Not like they did after the rebellions. We'll have to get used to them having a bigger part in the galaxy. I hope the Krogan live up to their ancient legacy, and for the better.
Not too much going on here in terms of conversation, but we have an interesting note on her computer showing that traffic has drastically increased in the Widow and Omega systems. No surprise, with those two being home to the Citadel and one of the most infamous space stations in the galaxy.
Please, enjoy your day.
Now, the main battery is of course not occupied at the moment, and the Mad Lab is also a bit quieter now that Mordin and Eve are gone, but instead we can find Edie down here for a quick conversation.
What are you up to now?
I'm uploading data on the destroyed Reaper to the Turians. They are investigating possible Reaper structural weakness. Our data says Reaper capital ships such as Sovereign are of unique design. However, smaller Reaper destroyers bear similarities.
That one was small?
Relatively, yes. Ground attack ships are only 160 meters in height. Sovereign was approximately 2 kilometers.
Well, keep talking to the Turians. If there's a chink in the Reaper's armor, we all need to know it.
And while Edie and the Turians continue to exchange valuable intel, we can make our way down to engineering. In the last episode, we purchased a new thermal pipe for Adams and his crew, so that is very likely the topic of the conversation he requested. Before we speak to him about that though, let's see how Javik has processed the death of his first Reaper.
Commander.
You settling in, Javik?
I believe some of the crew wishes to be my friend. That is not my purpose here. Also, I find I need to wash my hands. The residue of the ship is strong.
How so?
I have been exploring. There are traces of those who lived on the Normandy before. I detected a human female. Her genetic structure was unnatural, as if artificially created.
Sounds like Miranda.
And a Drell. There was illness in him.
Thane.
And the Krogan we met, who lived in these quarters. He was undergoing a metamorphosis. His memories were confused, not organic to his mind. There was great confusion and turmoil.
I still can't wrap my head around that. Reading information like you do.
For my people, it was as natural as breathing.
Evolution's an amazing force.
Our scientists believed it was the only force in the galaxy that mattered. They called it the cosmic imperative. The strong flourished, the weak perished. The governments of your cycle seem concerned with ensuring the survival of all.
Was this imperative just your scientist's opinion? Or did they prove something we don't know?
The universe had already proven it. They only had to look around.
And saw what exactly?
Extinction is the rule of law in the cosmos, the natural order of things. The weakest species are doomed.
And again, despite this being a prime example of a Paragon Renegade choice, it does not actually give us any morality points, which does not keep us from going with the Paragon option in spirit though.
It's the duty of the strong to protect the weak. Otherwise we'd have anarchy.
But those who had nothing to offer would be eliminated.
So conflict should be a way of life?
Evolution demands it. The strong grow stronger by dominating the weak. It is for the greater good of all. Though I do not think your Asari approves of my beliefs.
Liara? I think she just had a different idea about what Protheans were like.
We are all a product of our time. Had I been born in this cycle, perhaps I would be the noble scholar she wishes me to be.
And with both options here expressing some doubt, it's not really too much of a decision, but let's stick to the pattern and go with the one at the top.
You think you'd like that? It's a whole different line of work.
I wouldn't know. Living a life of constant war. Taking life in every battle.
I see how it could be tough to see outside the box.
It is the only box I have known. It shapes me, as stone is shaped by the one who carves it. The stone has no choice in the form it will take. You and I, Commander. War is our sculptor, and we are prisoners to its design.
Maybe not much longer. We win this, and we'll both be set free.
Thank you, Commander. I have seen the death of a Reaper. It has been a long time.
Let's hope it's the first of many.
Yes, a difficult fight remains. I would have accepted the Salarian deal and not told the Krogan. Morality and friendship do not matter now. Your allies are simply resources to use against the Reapers. If the Krogan seek retribution for the past, do not waste time on sterility plagues. Destroy them where they stand. In the meantime, they are useful cannon fodder against the Reapers. Do not care what others think. Do what you must.
Right, so Javik is very much being the renegade voice on our shoulder, and to be fair, he makes a few good points. Still, let's move on and see how the engineers are doing.
Gabi, have you ever seen recordings of Liara's mother, Matriarch Benezia?
Yes, what about her?
And remember Samara, the Asari Justica?
Where are you going with this, Kenneth?
Have you noticed that older Asari women seem to be a bit more ample? Do you think they just keep growing?
Kenneth!
I think I'll spend my sunset days in an Asari retirement home.
If I don't kill you first. Adams would like to speak to you.
You should go see Adams, Commander.
Commander, good news on the installation of that thermal pipe you got us.
It went right brilliant. Much better than we expected.
I told you it would.
It gets better. While interfacing through our ezo capacitors, our Miss Daniels here had an epiphany.
I wouldn't go that far.
She and Donnelly deduced some theoretical improvements to our capacitor design. Edie and I ran with it and documented our conclusions. Our core is too compact to apply our theories, but it could help the Crucible engineers. Give the word and I'll send the plans their way.
Do it.
Aye, aye.
Well done, everyone.
And there we go, another war asset and some experience points acquired. Step by step, we are getting more and more ready.
Genophage cure, huh? This beats the hell out of reporting on the Milgram City Council.
I don't think I've heard of Milgram. Which planet is that again?
Reckenstein. It's right next door to the Citadel. I'm a colony kid. Commander, got a minute?
What do you want to know?
You've just implemented a cure for the Genophage. Millions of Krogan will start fighting the Reapers. What do you say to people who think humanity is starting another Rachni War and Krogan rebellions?
Okay, so finally we can use Diana Allers to promote our cause a bit, and I don't think it comes as too much of a surprise that we are going with the charm option here to paint the Krogan in a good light.
It's easy to remember the worst of Krogan history, but you also need to remember the best.
Meaning?
The Krogan were heroes once, and they want to be heroes again. We're giving them that chance.
Are you aware that Clan Urdnot is already petitioning the Council for an embassy and rights to a colony world?
And we will also answer this question and not end the interview early. I think Wrex has earned that much support from us.
The Krogan are coming to the aid of a Council homeworld. That's more than a lot of species can say. I helped them get the Genophage cure. Anything more is between the Council and the Krogan.
There it is, straight from Commander Shepard. Until tomorrow, this is Diana Allers. Good night and stay strong. Okay, I'll cut that together with the rest of the segment and send it to Command for approval. Commander.
Right, looks like our answers did in fact have an impact, as the Krogan clan's war asset has been updated, and considering our replies, probably in the right direction. That now leaves us with only one more stop to make, and one last person to talk to.
You think that cure they dispersed could do anything to us? We're not going to start growing scales or anything, right? Maybe now that we have the Krogan on board, we can go back to fighting the Reapers. I was looking at the specs on that Reaper you took out on Tuchanka. That was one of the small ones? Don't get me wrong, it's still dead, but damn, there was nothing small about it.
And there we go, that's all conversations taken care of for now. Before we head back up though, let's quickly modify our armor by switching out the Armax Arsenal arm plating for a bit more weapon damage overall, albeit at the cost of the headshot damage bonus. However, since we are not really sniping too much at the moment, I think that is a worthwhile trade-off. And with that taken care of as well, we can now head back up to the CIC.
Messages at your private terminal, Commander.
Alright, so we are finishing the episode with a look at a few messages, starting with this one from the Salarian Dalatrass, who unsurprisingly voices her displeasure with our decision to go through with the Genophage cure. But luckily, as Hackett has informed us, it seems as if not all Salarians share her point of view. Wrex, meanwhile, appears to be very excited at the thought of increasing his species' population numbers, and also reveals that he is willing to share power with Eve, which could be a wise decision. The Turian General Corinthus then congratulates us on our success on Tuchanka, and thanks to our efforts, he still has hopes that Palaven might be saved. Now, the next message here is interesting, as it comes from Shiala, the Asari we met back in Mass Effect 1 on Pharos, where she was controlled by the Thorian. We let her live, and it seems like she is now fighting the Reapers as well. However, she also states that she is sure that she is still indoctrinated, a fact that we should not let go unnoticed. For the moment though, it seems like her connection with the colonists of Zeus Hope, no doubt fostered by the Thorian in some form, is stronger and keeps the fight going. That is also what this news report here states, alongside a few more details of the colonists' fight against the Reapers, and a brief mention of Lisbeth Bainham, another familiar face from Mass Effect 1. And that's all the messages that we have, and I think that is also enough for today, so let's wrap things up at this point. Next time we are then going to the Citadel to find out what's going on with Udina, and to kick off the second big act of the game. Until then, as always, if you have enjoyed the video, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up, And if you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.